one poses the biggest problem to South Carolina's defense?
Right.
And he says Jacoby and Morgan poses the biggest problem to South Carolina's defense.
Right.
And I ask, do you agree with that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a pocket guy. You got running backs to run and quarterbacks to throw and run when they need to, and wide receivers. So I'm that type of guy. I've heard all the talk, and Zoe, you hit some great points there. And if all cylinders going in the right direction, Jackson State would be good. This is what I fear from Jackson State is that they don't come out and turn the ball over. And I think you've said that tonight. Watching North Carolina Central and looking at the MEAC stats, the only two teams are basically good there is North Carolina and South Carolina. North Carolina Central and South Carolina State. Everybody else can fit in the SWAC conference, from the bottom to the middle. And again, I lay everything on Coach Taylor, because he's the play caller as well as he's the head coach. He's gonna have to call a good game, and then being in a new stadium and all that atmosphere. South Carolina State is one thing. They've been there. Some of the players on that team been there, and of course Chinnis Berry. Let's talk about the coaches. I think when you look at both coaches, you got to give the nod to Chinnis. He's been a head coach before at a winning program. He's put things together, and he keeps things more to his vest. TC Taylor kind of has that gunslinger in him, but like I said earlier when we were talking earlier, I thought he matured. Not only just as a head coach, as an offensive coordinator caller. So I think the game will be won in the trenches. I think, like you said, Zoe, special teams is going to play a major part because of possession. I think between the two, I think Phoenix is going to be the difference maker in the whole game. If he's getting off and he's doing the things, escaping and making plays, well, man, I think that'd be a lot of pressure on Jackson State. You know what I mean? So, but again, Jackson State has came and really dominated everybody they've played.
So I got a question I'm going to ask you guys, since you posed me the question. So when we talk about the roster, since they're so loaded, they're this great team. Let's talk about attrition. Let's talk about injury. So we talk about all these things, right? So we just had a game. Had some guys get dinged up. So what happened in this game? Eric Phoenix goes down and gets injured in this game and can't continue. Mm-hmm. Wherein lies the death for South Carolina State?
Well, if their backup quarterback, he's the one picked 54 on Morgan State. Phoenix played just a couple plays in the first quarter, and then this kid came in and
he's a bad man. He's a bad man.
He came in and played.
I saw most of that game. He's a bad man. Yeah. And guess what? He's a lot like Zy McDonald in the fact that he's an elusive guy, but very unorthodox throwing the football. But he was effective throwing the football that game. Yeah.
I think secondary wise, you guys gonna have to stop Caden High. He's the speedster. He's their deep threat. He's their big play guy. And I think you can do that. I think, again, it's the trenches. Y'all ends is going to have to keep Phoenix inside. You got to get a big push up the middle and bring some extra people. I don't think you need to all-out blitzing because they do have some exceptional wide receivers that can show cold run that high kid. I can't say enough about him and put pressure on Phoenix and keep him steady in the pocket. I don't think you just sit back and let him throw the football and not put pressure because he hasn't gotten it. That's one of the things. He hadn't got it all year. Nobody just really just all out came at him and gave him some looks. So that's the way I see it. But on the other hand, they're gonna keep 7. They're gonna keep 6 or 7 in their box on y'all. And McDonald might end up have to come into the game. You know what I'm saying? Because they know Morgan, they can don't think that Morgan can throw the ball. And I think what you said about him, that if he get hot, with a great run back, you either gonna have to stay back or take away one part. Both teams cannot let the defense make them one-dimensional. So at the end of the day.
I know you guys have been put a lot of focus on the quarterback, but in a game like this, the guy I think is going to decide this game is Irv. I think Irv is going to pose a serious problem for South Carolina. The same way that I think Taylor should have been a problem in the North Carolina Central game. However, he didn't get enough looks, enough carries because the game kind of got away from North Carolina Central. I don't think the game is going to get away from Jackson State. And I think it'll be a heavy dose of Irv early and a heavy dose of Irv late. And I think that's going to be the difference in the game, in my opinion.
Well, they held North Carolina Central's back. And North Carolina Central only had one first down in the first half. You know what I mean? And again, Harris, he wasn't very mobile. That's the good thing about Jacoby is that he is a lot more mobile than Harris was. He can create and extend his plays a lot more. And I think that hurt North Carolina Central. And then North Carolina Central the only way they came back is they put pressure on Phoenix. They made them go 1, 2, 3, and they hit big plays. They hit big plays against South Carolina. And then at the end, they weren't able to contain Phoenix, and he made play after play after play. So go ahead.
But Coach, don't you think that North Carolina Central wasn't patient enough with giving Taylor the football? Because he was effective. They just didn't give it to him enough. They kept throwing the ball, and that caused them to go 3 and out several times in that game. Because I believe Taylor is, to me, as different back, but he's just as good as Irv, in my opinion.
I would give Jackson State's secondary over South Carolina State's secondary. I think Jackson State got big kids back there. They got experienced kids. So I would say that Jackson State, I think, can contain their wide receivers, and they're going to have to, and they, again, I can't say enough, they got to put pressure on Phoenix. They can't let him sit back there. And I give, and if we can change and pivot here, and let's go and grade everybody. Let's start coaching. Which coach is over what coach? What you think, Zoe? You the guest. I'm putting you on the spot.
You put me on the spot. TC stands for D Champ. I got TC Taylor.
Okay.
I'll take TC as well.
Okay, I'm gonna go Chinnisberry. What about you, Coach?
I'm just gonna go with Chinnis because of the experience part. I just think the experience part does bring back. I think they're equal far as coaching acumen, but I think, and I've seen it because you could just see TC is learning the game. I think Chinnisberry, because he just coached longer than been a head coach, I think he just is a little bit quicker on the gun on certain situations. So I'm gonna go Chin. But like I say again, it's A and A-.
Well, we're not saying how good they are. I'm saying in the game.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna. If that's the case, because Rocky talks about why TC doesn't run the ball, I'm gonna go with Chinnisberry then.
Yeah. So why did you go with TC?
I mean, this season kind of.
Besides that, you're in love with Jackson State.
No, it's not. It's not that. I don't have blue and white glasses on. Okay. I think if you want to go with Chinnisberry for the experience, Chinnisberry hasn't had to do what TC Taylor had to do in short order.
Okay. And that's the same reason why I'm going for him. TC Taylor doesn't have an Eric Phoenix. Okay. And without Eric Phoenix, what is South Carolina State this year? Okay. And so TC Taylor has used 3 different quarterbacks to move the football, several different wide receivers, a number of running backs, and his team has been solid the entire year for front and back. And again, in a really competitive game, I think TC Taylor was able to defeat a team that Chinnisberry lost to, and so
Well, look, I gotta see. So I got, my folks. I mean, my phone is banging. So okay. South Carolina State folks, I hear you. So here's what I'm gonna push back on that. Chennisberry took players from D2, came up, and won a conference against and beat Trey Oliver, who people consider the best HBCU coach right now.
Okay, I retort. Chennisberry won one damn conference game that needed to be won in a conference with 5 out of 5 games. And then on top of it, you say he took D2 players, but last time I checked, those D2 players were good. I hate when people try to minimize saying D2 like they ain't good. Well, guess what? If that's the case, I'm gonna use what they say now. If they D2, then we shouldn't be having this conversation about who the hell gonna win this game.
Well, no, hold on. Wait a minute now. Because what that might say is that Chennisberry knows how to coach players up and get the best out of them. No, does that not say that too? It says, I can play this game with you all night. So wait a minute. So that means he can identify players at a level that other people couldn't identify, because if they could, they would have been playing for another team. He took those guys that he recruited, he found them, brought him with him, and won a championship and beaten Central, who, let's be clear, when the rankings were up, Central was ranked number 1, not Jackson State. Central was.
Here's the difference. Did he just get those guys from D2? Did he just get them?
No, that's the point.
Oh, pause right there. Okay, then let's go back to last year. TC Taylor got 80% of his team brand spanking new last season. Name me one year that Chennisberry had to do that.
Listen, but no. Okay, so I want you to hear me.
I hear you.
So my point of it is the fact. So when you guys are saying, there is something to be said that a coach who was able to identify players at a level and then move them up, and once again won in his first year, and beat the favorite.
You do realize again, but when did he get those players? When did he get those players?
They've been with him.
So let me ask y'all this. Let me settle this for a quick. So who's the play caller, John Williams or Chennisberry?
Both. Yeah.
John Williams or Chennisberry?
Maricopa County and have flooring or
both.
carpet over 5 years old.
What do you mean by both? What do you mean by both, Coach?
Both.
So they call 2 plays every play?
Well, let me give you a reason why I said Chennisberry. See, you guys are looking at one season and maybe 2. I'm looking at a guy's body of work. Chennisberry's been around much longer. He's been at both conferences. TC Taylor hasn't. TC Taylor just now getting into a position. Chennis used to be a coordinator several. He's
been in both conferences, Coach.
Huh?
He's been in both conferences.
TC, yeah, he was in North Carolina Central for about a year or 2. Oh, and then where else was he at?
No, he was there for a year or 2.
Well, how many years was he there? He hadn't been coaching longer than Chennisberry. Can we say that? Okay. And he hasn't been a head coach as long as Chennisberry. And Chennisberry is a national championship coach. So to compare and say TC Taylor, we're not looking at their bad spots. We're just saying, if I was going into this game and I wanted a coach to coach my team into this game, and just my thinking, and everybody's opinion is right, is that I want to go with a guy, with some things behind him. That some things that he's seen and that thing.
I just got one request. After we win on Saturday, I just want to come back on here next week and make sure I say TC Taylor's a national champion.
Hey, look. Now hold on. I'm swag.
And listen, ain't no TC. But this. Hold on. But nobody's saying this. That's a problem. So that ain't no problem. That's why you on here. This is not the South Carolina channel. This is not a Jack State channel. This is
I didn't say it was.
And let me tell you this: only on HBCU Coaches Corner, no other show interviewed the 2 coaches that are actually coaching in the game. So we talk to them, so we know who they are.
Hey, and we got one a job, or at least help. At North Carolina A&T.
I just want that's all.
And at Grambling. And Terrence Graver Southern.
Come on, man.
Let's go to let's go to a position I think we all can agree with. Let's go at quarterback.
I'll get in South Carolina State.
South Carolina State for sure.
Okay.
South Carolina State.
Oh, now we're gonna get some true serum around here.
Tailback.
Jackson State.
Jackson State.
Jackson State.
He's a bitch. He can do it. All right, here we go. Well, let's go to the wideout group.
I'll give it a push.
You give it a push?
I'm going to say, based on production, I'm going to say South Carolina State.
I'm going to go with South.
I'm going to say South Carolina State because they utilize the tight end. And I think that kid's going to be a key in this game.
Well, you just gave up one position.
Well, no, the wide receivers. No, I think that's the reason why I give them the edge, because the two wide receivers, I think Jack State has excellent wide receivers. And again, High and the other kid are great. But I think that kid, the tight end, gives them another dimension that is going to be very valuable in this game.
I'm really going to watch Jackson State's receivers because it's really unfair to them when you got a back that run the ball like Irvin can run the ball. So I'm going to go with South Carolina wide receivers because they've made a whole bunch of big plays. Let's go tight end.
Isaiah Spencer was going to have an amazing game Saturday. That's all I'll say.
What about tight end? You've already said
I have to give it to South Carolina State.
South Carolina State.
I mean,
what about you, Big Joe?
I roll South Carolina State.
Okay.
We pretty much use Landy the block. Also, if you just using my faith on the game, I guess South Carolina State, they're pretty much utilize throwing to the tight end. So we'll go South Carolina State.
And then y'all put him in no back and he block and sneak down the damn middle of the field wide open. I seen that play. Mm-hmm. All right. Here we go. O-line.
Ain't even close. Jack State.
Yeah, I got Jackson State. I mean, yeah.
Coach Bishop.
I'm gonna go Jackson State. I'm gonna go Jackson State, but I don't think it's that far of a put. I think South Carolina State, again, they protect. Let's be clear, they protect their quarterback. He does not get on the ground. So I think, but what I like about Jack State, see, and I like nasty offensive linemen. And those guys, and I saw that in that fourth quarter against FAMU, they got nasty. And I like that.
All right. Let's go Jackson State. All right. On the defensive side of the ball. Hey, let's start in the secondary. I got Jackson State. I think they do a lot of man stuff. They big, they aggressive. I like the way they play.
Rocky? I'm gonna say push. I'm gonna say push.
Okay.
I'll say push.
Listen, and watch those boys. Hey man, listen, I like big corners. Yeah. I like those guys. I'm gonna say push also.
Okay.
Best corner on that field in the game is McDonough.
Yeah, he can play. He can play.
I mean, Robert McDaniel is the best DB on that field Saturday.
Yeah. What year is he, Coach?
He's a senior.
Oh, okay. He got a chance.
Oh, he'll be playing on Sundays next year.
Okay, I got you.
He won't be playing corner though.
Swiss Army.
All right, linebackers.
Man, please. Jack State.
Yeah, I watched Jackson State last week, man. They nice.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Anybody who watch football, you want to get a clinic on how to play linebacker, watch Ashton Taylor.
Yeah.
Y'all got a couple of them, Coach.
I like Jackson State. What about you, Bishop?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Jackson State on it. I think those boys, and what I like about Jackson State, they make plays. And they, like I say, and I just, you know what's so funny is, and I mean, not to get to, it is amazing to your point. And I'm going to listen, because I watch you, I watch the mass meeting every day. I love what you're doing. KC 1400, love what you're doing. I remember after the Bethune-Cookman game, right? And the frustration of the way the defense was performing, and just the back part of the seat. I did not hear that this year from you guys. And a lot of that was a frustration that you guys had with the linebackers last year. Remember that? A lot of discussion was the linebackers not producing and things like that. I think that you all correcting that totally changed the dynamic of the defense.
Yeah.
Did y'all change schemes, players, or both?
Both.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna split the defensive line. Let's talk the interior, the nose and the tackle, or
Man.
Two tackles.
Jack State. Yeah, man, we're on a whole different solar system. D tackle.
I'm gonna go Jackson State. They really pushed up.
D tackles in HBCU ball.
Yeah, they pushed. they pushed Southern around. Southern was trying to run a zone play, and they were tackling the runner with the offensive lineman. So I like Jackson State's two interior.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I saw it firsthand. True Thompson won the goddamn game against FAMU, so you know what I'm gonna say. He made that boy a meme. So no, hey, listen, man, I saw that firsthand of that boy wrecking havoc. But like I say again, I just think that what Jack State does really well is with him and Williams, man. I think that's where I think it's gonna be interesting. Can South Carolina State get any type of running game going to bounce off Eric Phoenix?
Okay. What about you, Big Rob?
Yeah, I go with Jackson State. I think though South Carolina is competent up front, they have different kind of guys. Jeremiah and True, they're almost like edges in the way that they can affect the game. Like they just that dominant inside, and they can get all over. And again, that allows Jackson State them to do some things defensively. That makes their defense really hard to move the ball on, man. Yeah. Like when you can pretty much run your linebackers all over the field to blitz and go up, jump under routes and all that kind of stuff, and you ain't got to worry about nobody running up the middle on you, it makes your defense pretty tough. Yeah. Like they got in the bare front the other day, Coach, and I thought for sure they were going Southern was going to be able to pop a run through there. No. They got tackled in the backfield. It was tough. It was ugly. Go ahead.
All right, defense ends. The bookends. I'm gonna go with South Carolina State. Hey man, that kid can come off the edge real good, man. And I like their defensive ends. All right, Bishop.
Yeah, hey man, listen. Hall and Broughton, 19 sacks, 27 tackles for loss. I think that's going to be the game. I think if those guys can get in the backfield, I think, like I said, that's what it is. They've got to get Jack State behind the chains. So those guys, if they're going to win this game, those two ends that are all conference, they're going to play all conference guys. Like I said, I love Nobles. I think Nobles excellent. But again, I think just in totality, I think I like those guys a little bit better.
Rocky.
Here, this is going to be kind of tricky, and I'll say it like this: being to ask to tell which group is better, I'm going to say South Carolina. But because of what True Thompson and Jeremiah do in the middle, I think the Jackson State edges will have more effect on the game. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I think South Carolina is better, so get him the nod there. But because the Jackson State guys are going to be singled up, they're going to have way more effect on the game.
Well, see, that's why I think Jack State has to see, and this is why it's kind of funny how we're doing this, because I think if you say it by unit, I think Jack State has a better defensive line unit.
What about you, Zoe?
Phillip Webb and Nobles all day long. Phillip Webb is going to have an outstanding game this week. What we asked Phillip Webb to do, and again, because of the particular opponent and because of the skill set and what Eric Phoenix likes to do and what they do on offense, bear in mind, South Carolina State, they want to throw the ball. And South Carolina State, if you watch them, they have a lot of long developing pass plays. They're going to have way more opportunities for Webb and Nobles to have an effect on this
Coach,
game.
if I'm not mistaken, isn't Phoenix a left-handed coach?
Yeah, he is a left-handed. So Webb is going to be right there in his face.
So and let me ask Coach this.
Backside.
How does that factor into the defense's preparation for Phoenix versus the quarterbacks they played all season?
If I hadn't seen it myself, being around good defensive coordinators, some you guys don't, Clifford Yoshida, and I've seen my brother also play a game and then start bringing the pressure from the arm side where a quarterback throws. Like if they bring pressure to Phoenix and get him out to his right, that's going to cause a lot of problems for him. You know what I mean? If they're blitzing him to his left and, he can run and, hopefully the defense coordinator understand that and bring pressure from his left side. It's big. it's big to pressure a quarterback from the side that he throws. His arm strength. So, well, man, look, that's kind of where we are at it. Zoe, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. And boy, you gave us a whole bunch of insight, you know. And you know, Coach Campbell, man, the historian. I got Rocky. Who we got? What's gonna be our?
So I want to hear y'all. I want to hear your prediction.
Okay, yeah. Since you our guest, we're gonna let you go last.
All right, I'll go first. Hey, man, you know, I thought about this game, and I went and looked online and looked at what the betting. I thought Jackson State was a slight favorite. I wondered if Vegas shared that opinion, and they did. Vegas has Jackson State as a 2-point favorite. And again, I'm gonna take Jackson State. And I may even take that 2 points because here's the deal. If Jackson State could somehow get control of the game, I don't think South Carolina has the ability to wrestle it out of their control. I think Jackson State's defense and the style of offense they play poses way too big of a threat if Jackson State ever can get a lead.
What's your under or over?
I think the score is going to be actually similar to the North Carolina Central game. I think it'll be probably somewhere along the lines 27-20, something like that.
47 points.
Yeah.
All right, Campbell.
Listen, this was hard because this is one of those head versus heart for me. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm from Jackson, and I want to say this, and I need for my younger people to listen to what I'm about to say. Jackson State has never won a playoff game. They've never won a Celebration Bowl. I think T.C. Taylor understands that history. And one thing I've liked about what Jackson State has done all year long, this ain't no big mouth team. This team rides like T.C. Taylor. And I think that's so important because, listen, I was down ground zero and saw those two teams come into Atlanta with a lot of rappers and going to Colorado and all that. And I think, and I want people to understand this, because people talk about the MEAC has won the celebrate. Every Celebration Bowl has been won by the favorite other than those two games. That's the only time a Celebration Bowl favorite has not won it. So I think it goes back to the norm. I think Mississippi made is going to mean something. And I think that T.C. Taylor understands historically what this is going to mean for Jackson State. And I think he's got the players focused. Now, what I am concerned about, and I've never been concerned about this before, but one thing about South Carolina State and those MEAC guys, they get together like Voltron. And they really enjoy game planning. And they actually thought it was funny how all of the coaches from the MEAC got together to beat the SWAC. So I think that does have value, but I think that this is Jackson State's year because I think T.C. Taylor is going to right a wrong that Deion Sanders did, because I think Deion Sanders, honestly, he was not who he said he was going to be. And I think by T.C. Taylor being a Mississippi guy and understand, because like to Zoe's point, this reminds me of the W.C. Gordon guy. Jackson State team were not big mouth teams. They would never, you didn't have a bunch of mouth guys. And I think they're going to come in this focus. And I think, again, I think South Carolina State, I think this game is going to be close, but I think it's just going to be Herb Mulligan in the third and fourth quarter with one of those long runs that has broken everybody's back. And I've got honestly 28-27 Jackson State.
28-27. Whoa. All right, go ahead, Zoe.
Listen, I told everybody that T.C. Taylor, Jackson State under the T.C. Taylor is going to have a W.C. Gordon feel to it. And listen, T.C. Taylor coaches Central, he know full well what he's getting into. And listen, I was actually on wax. We interviewed Coach T.C. the moment he got hired, right? First interview he had was with us. And I actually told him, again, T.C.'s my classmate. And I told him, you know, and I told it on wax. You guys go watch it. I told him I was in the minority. I was like, I'm glad that we lost those two Celebration Bowls. I'm glad we lost them. Because I think under Deion Sanders, it was just a footnote. But now with T.C. Taylor coaching, it means something, right? And it's gonna resonate even more when T.C. Taylor wins the Celebration Bowl, because he's not just a Mississippian; he's a Jacksonian. He's a Jacksonian through and through. One of our favorite sons come back to lead the program, and this is his dream job. And again, this team is made in his image. And I'll go on record right now. be the best team South Carolina State has seen all season. I'll go on record to say that. You guys haven't seen the talent that's going to hit that field. There's going to be a whole lot of Jacktown Jews in Atlanta for this game. And they're going to find, and South Carolina State is going to learn firsthand what a Jacktown Jew is when all them Jews get on the field. I got Jack State winning 31-17.
Okay.
Did you say 31-17?
So you was in Jackson State when Kent was the quarterback?
No, before then.
You was there, but you said you was with TC.
Oh no, Kent was there after me. Kent was there at the tail end of me.
Yeah. He played. TC played with Kent.
Yeah, but TC was both older than Kent.
Oh, okay. Did you ever see that game against Alabama State and Jackson State?
There, coach, you won 61-58. I was there.
No, 68. 61.
I was there, coach. 61-58. 1-3. I was there. Look, you talking to a Jack State historian. I was there. Darnell Kennedy was the quarterback. We should have won that game, by the way. I was there.
Oh, should have.
Yeah.
What did we do? We should have lost. Is that what you said?
Should have lost. We should have lost.
The favorite team.
Hey, somebody should have played some defense.
I don't want to say this because my head coach may see this, but my head coach had a fumble on the way to the end zone in that game.
Oh, it didn't matter. If it was time left, we'd have scored again, Coach.
Got that game.
Coach, can you imagine scoring? What is that? Give me some numbers. What, 6 times? What give me some
29
numbers.
points. Or let me see.
Coach,
That's 119 points.
Coach, we led and scored every time.
61-58 was the final score. I was there.
That's 119 points by my count.
No, I still had 2 or 3 more plays in my back pocket would have went the distance.
I hear you.
Hey, Coach, did you score a Chinese touchdown?
Hey, boy, look. Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, everything worked, Coach. Mm-hmm. No, I'm just
Zoe, them South Carolina State folks is asking you, they say, hey, better than Georgia Southern Tennessee Tech. Hey, man.
Look, I tell you
what, you disrespected who they playing.
They don't care. Look, like Coach said it since he mentioned it. Look, man, when we get done with them, you're going to think all the people from Jackson are Chinese. I promise you, we get done with it.
Look,
now, Zoe, listen. Now, Zoe, if y'all lose, I want you to be back here on next Tuesday.
And I will. Guess what? And if you're slow, you'll catch that later on.
Jack, so what? Who gonna win the band?
Are you serious?
The Sonic Boom, baby.
Are you serious?
Look, I'm swag. I'm swag through and through. What worries me is the quarterbacks, Morgan versus Phoenix, or Phoenix versus McDonald. If Jackson State don't turn the ball over and don't give South Carolina State short fields, I think Jackson State win this football game because they can't score. You know, when it comes down to play calling, I'm gonna choose TC Taylor over Tennisberry. So I got J State national champions and lead this conference. And I'm like you, Zoe. TC Taylor is a blue bread from our schools, from the SWAC, you know, and I think he's ready. I think he's been into some games, you know, some shootouts. You know, that's the only thing I worry about is Morgan and McDonald ready to lead this team and make plays when they have to.
It won't come down to that, and then I wouldn't worry about whether those two have to come into it, because again, I'm more inclined to see what they'll do with the physicality that we bring in. Look, TC Taylor has actually said it multiple times. He built this team specifically for this game. It's a very, very physical.
Let me ask you something, Zoe. It wouldn't be HBCU Coach's Corner if I didn't ask you this question right here. Will TC Taylor winning the Celebration Bowl overshadow the 2 years that Deion spent as the head man at the helm at Jackson State, to the point to where that'll be for sure in the past?
Oh, without a doubt. Like I just said, that's why I'm glad Deion Sanders didn't win. The moment TC wins that Celebration Bowl Saturday, after we win, I mean, Deion Sanders is a thing of the past. There's no point even bringing him up anymore because he surpassed everything that he's done and in short order. The only thing he didn't do was go undefeated, you know what I'm saying, throughout the whole entire season, but undefeated in conference play, won the conference in the second year, and Prime didn't even do that because Prime went in the spring season, Prime didn't win, but he said, hey, it's a trial season, catch me in the fall, and he won it, but it came up short in the Celebration Bowl. So by all measures, TJ Taylor is ahead of him and exceeded him.
And let me ask you this last question. Will y'all ever be able to show gratitude toward Prime and what he brought during that time?
I mean, here's the thing. There's no hatred. Let me touch on this, right? There's no hatred for Deion Sanders from Jackson State. Now, granted, we don't people are just thinking like we mad because he left. No. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but we're all, as a whole, right, happy for Willis Simmons, right? Very happy for Willis Simmons that he left and did what he did. Right. Most people in Jackson State, they're happy for Deion Sanders as well. The only thing they didn't like, man, was the disrespect on his way out. That's all that it was, and the narrative that was painted that you could have extinguished. You know, all these DDRs out here want to paint this thing and jump on everything and say what Jackson State is. The only thing I don't like, man, is when I got this point with Deion Sanders was, the not stopping the narrative, you know what I'm saying? Because he could have extinguished a lot of stuff to say, hey, no, Jackson State did do right by me. No, Jackson State did not do this. You know what I'm saying? He didn't kill any of that. That's the only thing. And the disrespect on the way out. You know what I'm saying? He did some things that, you know what I'm saying, that I don't care who you are. Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Deion Sanders. I don't care who you are. I'm not going to let nobody disrespect the shit on my city and my school. You know what I'm saying? So, again, end of the day, we're proud people here. Look, Mississippi don't have much. Jackson may not have much, but damn it, we love our Jackson State Tigers. You know, so I can't speak for a lot of other HBCUs who have all these other big-time flagship schools in their state. You know what I'm saying? We're not in Alabama saying, oh, Roll Tide and War Eagle. You know what I'm saying? On how all these other states do. We were damn old pissed in Mississippi State. We roll Jack State Tigers over here in Jacktown. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I don't care who you are. We don't tolerate disrespect. And, again, we wish him well. You know what I'm saying? And, look, you talk to anybody in Jackson, man, they're crazy about Shiloh Shador and Travis Hunter. You know what I'm saying? And they wish Deion Sanders well. We just didn't tolerate the disrespect on the way out the door. That's it. We wish him well. Nobody got no ill will to Deion Sanders. Man, he can come back to Jackson, and at some point in time, I hope he does come back and we can honor him the way that he is. Ain't nobody got no bad blood. It's them damn DDRs out here that's want to sit here and act like this whole narrative. And I'm going to say this and I'll be quiet. You know, this whole narrative like, oh, he built these facilities. No, the hell he didn't. No, he didn't. And the proof is right there today if you go on his IG. Literally, if you go back and watch the press conference, the very next damn day, he goes to Ashley Robinson saying, what is this? Ashley rolls out a blueprint showing them what's already in tow. And I'm not sick. And when it's coming from me, it ain't secondhand shit. If I tell you a mosquito can pull a wagon, don't ask me no questions. You better hook his ass up.
That's right. That's right.
At the end of the day, no, he did not sit here and create all the facilities for Jackson State. That's a lie. No,
you didn't put the barbershop in there?
Huh?
You didn't put the barbershop in there?
No, I didn't put the barbershop in there, Coach.
I said Deion didn't put the barbershop in the building.
No, he didn't put the barbershop. He just put it out there to get some barbers to come cut. You know what I'm saying? On his IG to get some barbers to come in to do some stuff in kind. But no, he didn't do anything with regards to facilities. Also, he wasn't mismanaged or money that was owed to him because remember, Deion Sanders loved to keep receipts. What's funny, since everybody said that he didn't have money paid to him, for somebody who loves to show receipts, why he never pulled no receipts out saying, oh, this happened to me? You know why? Because he was done right by Jackson State. Everything that was owed to him, he got in the fashion in which he needed to get it. So we need to kill all the bull job. And this other thing, oh, he left everything for TC. No, he didn't leave no foundation or anything. Now, what Deion Sanders did, I'm going to give him kudos. He came in and changed the day-to-day operations of Jackson State. He came and laid a blueprint for how we need to go do things going forward. That he did. What we do from a football operational standpoint, day-to-day, that's what he changed. We give him kudos for it. So the things that he done, we give him praise for. But everything else is hogwash, is bull job.
Good, great, baby. Look, don't cry, Rocky.
No. Okay, so I think that's the fairest assessment that I've heard from anybody that who is not, I'm not going to say anti-Deion, that has a strong critique of Deion and his time at Jackson. It's related. That's why, because I never understood why Jackson State and Jackson supporters have such a visceral reaction to Deion and the perception that Deion benefited the school and the football program?
Well, I can answer that easy.
But I understand. I mean, go ahead.
I'm gonna answer that real easy.
So can I say one thing before you answer it? Because it's dealing with what you're gonna say.
True.
You know, and everybody is about these celebrity athletes coming back and coaching at black college, and they're gonna do what Deion, and they're gonna bring all this money to black college. That's a facade. It's not true. And you put people in these positions as head football coaches that don't know how to manage themselves, let alone managing people. Okay, go ahead, Zoe.
No, I'm gonna see. The thing is, man, when you talk about Mississippi, man, look, man, when it comes to anything with rate-wise, and Steve know what I'm talking about, we're last in everything, man. Last in everything. Like I said, so when you don't have much, the one thing you're gonna have is your pride and your dignity. All right. And one thing about it, man, we ain't gonna tolerate no disrespect. Point blank, period. So again, if you come in and do right by people, man, look, Jack State fans gonna sit there and would have rolled out with them to Colorado and been his biggest supporters, right? And for the most part, you got a lot of people in Jackson that's going out to Colorado. So again, ain't no hate there. But at the end of the day, man, everything was all gravy. But that last week, man, the disrespect that was ensued that whole week, man. I'm sorry, we're not gonna tolerate no disrespect.
May I ask you, did he bring all that money, millions and millions of dollars, and get the turf field built? And
he assisted with getting the turf put on the practice field. Okay. And I can actually explain to even how that happened. Yes, that is something that he did, but the facilities, no.
Did all these brands come in and you know, I don't know, pay for this?
No, there wasn't a whole smorgasbord of brands coming in to do anything. Listen, we had something with Walmart and something with Procter & Gamble that came in to assist putting the practice field in. That's it.
Was that because of Deion?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
That was it. But outside that, everything else, Jackson State and fine folks like myself. And
like I say, I mean, that's fair.
Hold on, man. Man. Shout out to the Tiger Fund. Shout out to the Blue Wing Athletic Association. Shout out to KC 1400. Me and my compadre Ken Clark. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the Jacksonians. It was regular blue collar folk working in, giving their nickels, their dimes, their fives, and their tens. You know what I'm saying? Doing their part to give to Jackson State.
Hey, and let me ask you this. And on Saturday, when y'all show up at the house that Deion built, would he be welcome to stand on the sideline with you guys?
Well, I gotta fill you in. The house that Deion built is torn.
I knew you was gonna say something. You almost jumped through that screen.
I just want to feel Rocky in. The house that Deion built got torn down.
I'm just messing with you. No, but would he be would you guys welcome him on the sideline if he wanted to come out and support you?
Rocky, I'm telling you, he can come to Jackson and do whatever he want, man, and he gonna get embraced. I mean, yeah, are there gonna be some people who don't like him for whatever reason? Sure, there are, but by and large, that's not the feeling of the jive of the entire fan base. And I'm telling you that being right here in Jackson is not the case. You know what I'm saying? So again,
Jackson State has been one of the most attended football games in FCS history. In the top 5, probably last 40 years?
Oh, and here's a funny thing too. I mentioned this earlier on with Scott today. You know, people talk about our attendance went up because of Prime. I was like, well, here's a funny tidbit. In 2019, we were 4-8. We led the country averaging 39,000 fans per game. We averaged more fans 4-8 in 2019, and we 11-2. One of them swag. We averaged more fans then than we did this year.
Wow.
But everybody who was in the games this year paid though.
Huh?
See,
hey, you got
hold on. Let me put let's see. I'm older than Zoe. So this is the thing I want to say. No, when you are at my age and older, Coach Cole, my mother and them, like I say, my people that went to Jack State, nobody cares about what Deion did. What people care about is when you lie on my name. And when I'm gonna say this again, the thing, my mother and Jack State people that are older, what they were most heard about, because the narrative of Jackson is robbing, stealing, and killing, and everybody's dumb and stupid. Yep. Jackson State people, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it to Jackson State people that are on Twitter. Jackson State people go and do great things. So when you got somebody, his daughter gets on there and say, oh, it was somebody dying in the dorm and they stole money and all these things. Now, the white folks that used to run the stadium did steal money from Jackson State. That I can tell you, because it'd be 50,000 people and then they say it was 25,000. We know that. But to sit back and constantly make this narrative, black people are stealing, robbing, and killing, that just bothers people. And so my thing is, Deion Sanders was not a savior, because I'm going to tell you this, Rocky, and I want you to hear this from me. Deion Sanders did not do half of what W.C. Gordon did. Because I'm going to tell you what W.C. Gordon did. He produced first-round picks, second-round picks, Hall of Famers. He won championships. That dude came in for 2 years, and because of Jackson helping him get a degree, allowed him to get that job at Colorado. So there's no Deion Sanders at Colorado if there's no Jackson State.
I completely agree with that. And your reverence for W.C. Gordon, that matters. It's important. But I'll tell you this, Campbell, W.C. Gordon didn't have any theme music.
See, that's
hold on. Actually, he did. He was called the
Tell about the Jazz Man, Zoe. They don't know about the Jazz Man.
Hey, Zoe, I'm gonna give you a project, man. We just had a man on the day got a statue, right?
Yeah.
You need to be putting it out there that W.C. Gordon needs a statue.
Oh, for sure.
And maybe 2 head busts with the 2 came behind him. Carson and
I got a question, and I hate to be messy. Why is Walter Payton's number not retired?
That's a great question.
So, Coach,
we're giving him some assignment, Coach.
I want y'all to listen. I'm old school, and again, I kind of. But so, if for you young folks, that is and I can get Jerry Payton's number because of my university. That needs to be done. And
I'm gonna bring this brother on the show, Eddie.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. That Jack State has not retired. Now, I understand, but again, Walter's like, hey, y'all tripping. But listen, the 34 needs to be retired. Straight up, Jack State people, come on, man. This is Walter Payton. I'm sorry. I hate to end the show like that, but Coach put out a statue.
You know an assignment, Coach. Before we can bring you back, he got an assignment. He got a 2-year assignment. See if we can get some of that in place.
Hey, but Zoe, I want to appreciate you articulating what Jackson and Deion's relationship is. Why there was because one of the first shows I did by myself was a Jackson show where I allowed people to call in about. I was all excited about. I did not understand, and I was excited about Deion being hired at Colorado. I thought it was a tremendous opportunity that was given to a black man, and it's not till I got those 50 calls of people cussing me out, calling me, coons and whatever. Like, I knew it was fresh, but I thought they would be happy for him, and they were just, he lied to us. He ain't what he say he is, and I'm like, wow, where is this coming from? And so I'm glad you put context into it, because I thought it was, because that night, I don't know if y'all, Mr. Campbell seen it or whatever, but that night I said, hey, guys, he was just a football coach. He wasn't the mayor of the city or the governor of Mississippi. What do y'all think he was going to actually change? He's just a football coach.
Rocky, it was the people like you that believed. It was y'all people that believed.
No, no, he was
to make him a savior.
Look, I'll say this and I'll go because I know we got to end it. So just kind of give you an idea when we talk about the disrespect. So, Coach Prime, his whole thing was always saying that, I can do 2 things at one time. I play football, I play baseball. I'm great at doing 2 things at the same time. So, after he made the announcement and we actually go back, he was actually in Colorado very, very early in the season. And he did some things that were very, very unconventional. When you talk about hiring a coach and adding him to the coaching staff after the 3rd game of the season and give him a title, special assistant to the coach, that was one great sign that let's something's going to go awry here. But then at the end of the season, after the way he acted that SWAC championship game, that was the first thing, it was like, oh, we celebrated, at the facility, but you guys didn't see that. But again, it was because I need to get back and celebrate the facility because I had to hurry up and get up out of here because I got a flight to catch to get to Colorado, right? So you go and you do that. But so here's the thing, and this is when everything started. You come back and your whole thing is I can do both things at the same time. But the problem is going to that Celebration Bowl, he prioritized Colorado, put Jack State on the back burner. And so, when it came down to go to the Celebration Bowl press conference, Coach Prime wasn't there. Coach Flea was there. Check the video. It's there. Coach Flea was there. Coach Prime was recruiting in Colorado. All right. So again, I'm putting Jack State on the back burner. Then you go back during the week You're having a recruiting weekend in Colorado. You fly back to Jackson. You're on Jack State practice field, dressed in all black with some white and gold shoes on. Disrespect. And this is a guy who's a stickler for shoes that the players are wearing. Everybody match it. But I'm going to come here to this school who gave me an opportunity. I'm at practice dressed in all black with white and gold shoes on. Disrespect, right? Then we sit there and we go into the game, you know what I'm saying, doing some of the things I'm not going to speak to with some of the players because we have certain players who didn't play in that game against North Carolina Central. There's a reason for that, but we're not going to get into that as well. And so pretty much I'm going to coach in this game because guess what? If I don't coach in this game, my son ain't going to play. You know, so it was, again, a lot of disrespectful stuff on the last week headed on the way out to Jack State, headed out to Colorado. So, again, that's why we say, you know, it was great that we were even into that game the way that we were. Not going to rehash that part of it. But again, a lot of people was just like, you know, we're ready to send his ass out of here. At that time, we were pissed, you know what I'm saying? Because again, you weren't all in on that game. You had 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and your priorities were more focused on Colorado more so than Jackson State. And so again, that's why people were agitated, pissed off, angry, you know what I'm saying, disappointed, and up to the neck with everything at that point in particular time. And TC Taylor is taking over. And Coach O, you know, Coach O even mentioned that too. You know, when that game was over, that staff, they were, I don't know if you guys realize this, but at the end of that game, it was literally 2 different staffs. You had all the coaching staff were Coach Prime in a sprinter leading the road, making a right. And you only had Coach O and TC Taylor with Jackson State making a left going back on campus. I don't think you guys understand what that looked like. And then you talking about going to having to recruit, have to build a brand new staff, have to go and get a brand new trainer, all these other entities, equipment person, all these other entities, you know what I'm saying, that need to stay with Jackson State. And then the whole world with this whole narrative, like, you know, Jackson State did somebody wrong. So again, Jackson State folks are prideful, man. We don't have much, but we got our pride and we got our dignity. And at the end of the day, man, if you ain't got no respect, we feel like nobody disrespect us.
So let's end it right there, man. We got it, man. We've been off. What we do, man? 2 hours and something. We got to bring you back, maybe down the line. Appreciate all the info that you have gave us, man. And look, I tell y'all what, y'all agree, man. This is a big match, evenly matched football game, and we'll see. It always in championship games. The people who make the less mistakes always win the game. Thank you, Zoe.
Just say one thing, Coach. This is my young nephew, Zoe Jackson. Appreciate you, man. And I'm going to say this again. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everything, how you represent. First of all, represent North Jackson. Let's stand up on that. Represent North Jackson. Represent Jackson State. I love when you come on all these shows and do what you do. But I'm going to say this again, man. This is the reason why I love everybody, because we should be able to do this. Shouldn't be, oh, don't go over there, don't come over here, and don't do this. Because, man, this is our thing, man. You got Coach Cole, Texas Southern, Coach at Tennessee State. You got Rocky, the Primate, that came and rolled on in. And then you got a brother from me, from Jackson, that love Jackson, FAMU and Grambling, and everything in between. So, man, this is for us and by us, man. So I appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming.
And I heard it. Hey, I went to Tallahassee with him. He's up there telling people, I wish I was born in Tallahassee. You know
I ain't never told about that. Anybody, you listen. Now, listen. Anybody from FAMU will tell you, we like FAMU. We don't like Tallahassee. Yeah, no, sir.
No, I'm just messing with you. No, so thank you again, brother. I appreciate it, man. It's been great. I don't have anything, guys. If you ready to take us out, you got anything, Mr. Cap?
Thank you, Zoe. I do have one thing. Jackson State, South Carolina State. I heard on another channel where they said what a blue blood is, Coach.
Right.
And I'm going to tell people, me and Coach Cole been around. Coach played in this league, and I'm going to tell you something. Blue bloods are Florida A&M University, Tennessee State, Grambling State, Southern University, FAMU, and South Carolina State. And being a blue blood is not how many national championships, it's the total body of your work. Conference championships, legendary coaches, and players you produce. So for you young folks, y'all need to learn this, because some of y'all came around in 2000. But I'm telling you, there's a pride history in those schools that I named. There's a reason. They didn't just start winning games in the 2000s or 2020s when the Celebration Bowl started. So go do your research. Learn about these schools. And the last thing I'm going to say is to my Jackson State people and my South Carolina State people, man, it's always 8 or 9 of y'all that's always on that BS. Hey, man, have pride in your school, but don't down the other school. Jackson State's a great school, and South Carolina State's a great school. This is going to be a heavyweight championship fight. Have some respect, man. Have some respect. Because once again, I see the same 8, 9, 10, 20 people always on that BS. And they disrespect the Jackson State and they disrespect the South Carolina State. These schools were not built on that. These are championship schools. And they're going to play a championship game on Saturday. I'm excited to watch it. And I just want people to know this is what we should be about. Not all that negativity. Once again, that 8 or 9 people always think that's okay. Because you never see their face. You never see their name. So once again, thank you for the people of South Carolina State watching. I tried to do my best to defend your side because you know what Zoe was going to do. And thanks to Zoe and Coach Cole, I'm going to tell you this. Thank you for allowing me to be on here because this is what I always wanted to do is talk about our great HBCUs. Love all of y'all.
Yeah. Hey, look here, man. It is the show. I want to shoot a shout out to Sean Gibbs, one of our guys on the show. We've showed Mickey Joseph as well, Terrence Graves, T.C. Taylor, Chennis Bear. We had some greats. People waiting in the area now. Coaches is Teddy Keaton over at Clark is waiting around to see where it goes. Sam Shade, maybe at Miles College. So our show has produced some great people that's moving on in their careers. I want to thank you guys. Continue to follow our show. We want to make it bigger and better. And we want to be able to travel as well. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you share our channel and we want to make this thing big. I mean, I can't say enough about Bill Hayes coming on to the show. Anytime, just think, guys, that you get a statue. That don't happen to HBCU guys. And once again, I don't know many that was a football coach. Now, of course, we got Washington, Garvey, and those guys, those Martin Luther Kings. But we're talking about a HBCU football coach. That's big. We need to salute him. We need to congratulate him. As he said, that where we got lost at as coaches, we stopped loving each other. We stopped putting the real thing. Stop hating on people. Stop dragging their names down on these shows. Let's leave it at football, as Coach Bishop always say. Man, this weekend in Atlanta is going to be great. It's about us. It's for us. We don't have to watch these other games. Man, we need to tune in. And if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, or near, you need to go to the game, man. And we need to prove a point that Black folks go out and watch football games. And we do.
My name is Danny Wilson, and I won $500 on the lunch break with AJ Jones.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.